What is up, everybody? Escape211 here, and we're getting into some more T3 Arena. And for this video, I'm going to show you how to get the game. And a lot of people ask about this, namely because it is not in the app stores right now. So if you want to get the game right now, here's what you're going to need to do. Now we're going to start on the Android side, and I don't actually have an Android device, but I have this set up on BlueStack, so that's the screen that you see. But it would be the same for any device that you actually have, or really similar to this. So what you want to do on the Android side is to go to your browser. We're going to use Chrome here, and then you want to search T3 Arena. I already started it, but you would just put in T3 Arena, and then the first option that comes up you'll see is T3 Arena download game at TapTap. And you want to make sure you have this website here, taptap.io. That is the actual app store that we're going to be getting it from. All right, so if you click on that, you will end up going right to their app store, the TapTap app store, and then you will be able to download right away. It's going to show you that you can get it with Android. And if you click on this and hit download, it's actually not downloading T3 Arena. You'll see right here it says download TapTap. You actually need to download their app interface before you can download the game. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to say, are you sure this could be harmful to your device? It is absolutely not, and I'll talk about why in a minute, but you can be confident in downloading this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. TapTap is a reliable source, and it will pretty much download it instantly because this is a really small application. And you can then hit open, and it's going to give you that option. Are you sure you want to do that? Yes, we want to install it. It's going to do it super quick. And then it's going to say it's installed, and then we can open it. Now it's going to flip our screen when we hit open because the interface goes landscape. I'm not exactly sure why. And then it's also going to ask you to sign in. So I'm going to do the sign in, not going to show that, but then we'll come back in a second and you'll see how the interface looks in just a second. Here we go. All right, so we are signed in with Google now into TapTap. So once you get signed in, you will be able to see the TapTap interface like we have here. And again, you're just going to want to search T3 Arena, and it comes up right away. And here we will see it. And now we can officially download it. And it would like to access your files. Yes, we will let TapTap access the files. It is totally okay to do. So we're going to hit allow for it to do this. And while this is downloading, I'm just going to talk about why they're using TapTap and why some people obviously have reservations about it and don't know a whole lot about this. So TapTap is another app store just like Google Play or Apple, but it is one that is based out in China, namely because in China, they do not have Google. There are certain blocks that their government does from Google, Google searching, all the Google apps, so Google Play is included in that. Certainly there are areas in China that some people still use Google or interface with the rest of the world, but for this kind of instance in this game, they're doing it this way for that reason. But also because the company that made this game, T3 Arena, is XD, and they also made TapTap. This is actually their app store. It makes a lot of sense why they're using this. I don't know for sure if this is eventually going to be on all platforms or how they're going to do that. We'll talk more about that later, but that is essentially how this is being done right now because it is their actual app store. So it makes sense that they're doing it this way for now, especially during soft launch, but that will be changing later on this month, especially for the iOS side, which we're going to jump into next. So when this actually finishes downloading, it will allow you to then straight open the game and you'll be able to log in with TapTap. You can also bind or log in with Facebook if you don't want to use TapTap, but TapTap is fine for me to use and what I think is easy for a lot of people, especially because it will easily log you in with that since you just used it. So if I hit install here, it's going to now install the game and then it will play it or let me play it right away. But it'll also go on your home screen and you'll be able to access it easily now without having to go through all this process. All right, so again, when it starts up here, it's just going to log into me with TapTap or ask to log in, and that's just how it goes. Boom. All right, got it set up for the Android side, so we're going to get an iOS device and go over to that side, and we'll show you how to do it that way too. All right, so now we are on our iOS device, and to start with this one, you actually need to get Test Flight on your device. Now, if you don't have Test Flight, you can just go to the App Store and get it. It is a official app for Apple. It's one they've created. It's one that developers use to test games and do betas, soft launches, all that stuff. So T3 Arena utilizes it for that. So I'm going to download this here, and then after it's done downloading, we'll come back and do the next step. All right, this one should be really quick. All right, so as you can see, we got Test Flight now, but you really don't need to do anything with it other than just have it. Again, we're gonna go into our browser and search T3 Arena, and then download it from TapTap, and it will go through to Test Flight to be able to download it on our device. All right, so I'm just gonna use Safari down here, and we're gonna go to T3 Arena. We're gonna start typing that in, if I can do it. T3 Arena. All right, so again, this is going to come up with TapTap as your first option, and that's the one that we want. So we're going to click that, and then right here we're going to have the option to download it, and we're going to go to the download button here. Now, if you don't want to, or if you either already have Test Flight, you can skip that step. But even if you didn't want to directly download it, you could hit the download button here with the Apple download button, and it should, I don't know if it actually does this. I don't usually do it that way. It should take you to the App Store to download Test Flight, but then you'll have to come back here and hit download again. So that's why I like to go to Test Flight first, or do that part first, and then come over here. And then when we hit the download button, it will again ask us to do the login like we did before, and then it will start downloading it through the Test Flight app. So I'm not going to go through that, but you get it. I mean, that, you know, all you need to do is log in, hit the download button again, and it will go through Test Flight. So I know it's a little odd because you have to do it through websites instead of doing the App Store, but the reason is because this is soft launch, and because, you know, there's certain restrictions for Google over in China, and the developers for this game are based in Shanghai. So it makes sense as to why they're soft launching it this way. They are going to release this in the App Store for Apple for sure. They've already talked about doing that, and that one is going to be later on this month, the 26th. So it's right around the corner, but if you want to get a head start, you can do that with Test Flight on your Apple device right now, which I suggest doing just so you get a leg up during the beta type period, just to benefit from that. On the Android side, I am not sure if they're going to do that yet. They have not. I don't think they've really made the decision if they're going to release on Android or just keep it on their own TapTap platform. Honestly, there are certain things about TapTap that obviously they're the developers of it, so they want to keep it on there, but at the same time, there's a lot more benefits that they do for TapTap for other developers. For instance, other developers that go on there, they don't have certain revenue chunks that are taken out of. I think in both Apple and the Google Store, they take 30% of your revenue or your downloads and that kind of stuff. The TapTap Store doesn't do that. So there are other people that use this and benefit from using the TapTap Store instead of the, you know, more traditional app stores. So there's a lot of developers that do that, especially for like the soft launch period. I think it's going to be inevitable in terms of a global release or getting the name out there that they're going to want to put it on the Android store, but I can definitely understand why they've been hesitant to do that for numerous reasons and why they've been focusing on TapTap. So at any rate, that is the overall process and how you download this. One other thing I will say is that typically right now there's two methods of logging into the game. You can use TapTap, which is a really easy way to do it because you already have to download it through TapTap. It kind of just auto does it for you. But you can also bind or log in your account with Facebook. And if you decide to do that, which is totally fine and makes sense if you want to move to a different app store, make sure that you use a gaming-based Facebook account. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you create another Facebook just for gaming, not your personal Facebook, because a lot of people will use their personal Facebook to quickly link it, and they have a lot of personal information on there that probably isn't a good thing for the rest of the world to just get out there and see, unless you want everyone to see that. So if you have one you want to keep personal, I would suggest making a gaming Facebook. I did, and I think that's a good way to do it if you link it to Facebook. All right, so that's all I'm going to say about this. I think I've covered everything. If you guys do have questions, you can leave them below. I will try my best to answer them. I don't really know all the technical ins and outs of this, but I will do my best to help you guys out wherever I can, because, you know, I'm excited for all of you to try this game as well and let me know what you think. So hope that was helpful, and we'll see you out there on the battlefield.